Okay. Okay, everyone. So I'm gonna go over how we're gonna create a frequency table. Okay. So frequency table. So this video is just frequency table, just to help you to recap what we learned. So I'm gonna make a box right here. We're gonna do with small values. So I can 10. 20, 11, 12, 11, 12, 10, 5. Okay, we're going to use a small value so we can create our table. So step number one that we need to do is we're going to find the class width. Okay, to find the class width, so we only need frequency table for, let's do this for 2 classes. Normally it should be between 5 and 20, but for this lesson, my main focus is to use something short, make it easier for you to understand how to create frequency table. All right, so I'm using just a small data set. So what I would do, I'm going to use 2 classes. Okay, so to find the class width, I'm looking for the highest values, which is 20. Take away the lowest values in this data set, which is 5. Divide by 2. So this is 15, 7.5. So what I can do is I can round it to 8. This would be my class width. What do I do with this number is that when I create the table, okay, when I create this table, you're going to construct 3 columns. The first one is the classes. This is the tally. The reason we have the tally to make it easy for you to sum it up at the end. This is the frequency. Okay. So the class set, what we do is we're going to start with the lowest values in our data set. In this case, the lowest value is 5. So I'm going to write in 5. That is the values that I'm going to start. The reason we calculate this one, the class width, is to help us to get to the next values. So 5 plus 8 give you 13. Okay, and then what I would do for the next class, I'm not going to use 13 again, because if I use 13 again, it's going to be confusing when you have to do the tally. I'm going to use the next value, which is 14. Then what I would do again, the class width that I solve for is 8, so I'm going to add 8. Sorry, that's not what I want to write. So 14 plus 8 give you 22. So this would be your classes, right? So you have 2. What we need to do right now is going to tally them up using the table that's given to us. So if I looked over here, I'm going to start with 10, cross out 10. 10 is between 5 and 13, so this is 10. Okay, move on to the next one, which is 20. Let's look at 20. 20 should belong here in the second class, right? That's my tally. Then I have 11. 11 should be on the first one. And then I can have 12, which is right here. And then I can move on to 11. 11 should be here. The next one is 12. So 12 should still be here, the first class. And then I can look at the next one, which is 10. 10 should be here as well. 11 still in the first class. 5 should be here. 6 should be here. So now my frequency, just to finalize this table, is that I'm just go back and count how many tick marks I have for each class. So for the first one, I have a total of 9, and this one is 1. So this is how I create my frequency table. If you look at this one, I use a data. I based on what given to me, how many classes that I have to create. So I'm taking the highest values minus the lowest value. Okay, highest minus lowest, divide by number of classes. This would give me class width. And this number right here is the one that I use to get from one value to the next. Okay, this is where the 8. So this is right here that I plus 8 right here. So that's the class width. That's the purpose of it. The tally is for you to count the number of data. When you do this, because it's really hard for you to remember how many each values appears, right? How many times each data entry appears. So what you do is you make the tally. It's tedious, but it's kind of help you to get this final values. So you should do the tally, otherwise you're not going to remember how many values belong to the first class, how many belong to the second one, right? So you cross one, put it over here. Right, so hope this would help. And this is how you should create